everyone, it's me again. I just thought I would post another update for you guys. So I wanted to fill you guys in on some shenanigans I've been up to in the last couple weeks, which includes me visiting 3 locations in London I hadn't been to. So the first of these 3 locations that I visited was Kew Gardens, and I was just blown away. It's massive. It's so beautiful. There's so much to see and do there. My favorite part of Kew was the Palm House, which is this just absolutely gigantic Victorian glass and steel structure. It's quite a bit like the Crystal Palace. I think they were built around the same time. And inside is a rainforest. And there are plants from all over the world, all tropical varieties, and it's just, you enter it and you're suddenly in this hot and humid tropical environment. It's just so cool. And it's got 2 stories. You can go up and walk around the top of it and look down onto the foliage, or you can walk underneath, and it just, I mean, if it wasn't for the other people there and the metal walkways, you would feel like you were in some rainforest somewhere. It's just ethereal and magical, and it's so cool. I also really love the bamboo forest. It has like 50 different species of bamboo or something. I didn't know there were that many. I also didn't know that apparently bamboo grows in South America. I had no idea. So that was kind of cool to learn, that there's both Asian and American varieties of bamboo. But yeah, and there's also the Hive, which is this like massive sculpture that is connected with sensors to a beehive at Kew, and it like blinks and flashes in correspondence with actual bee activity inside the hive, which I think is just fantastic because I really love bees. And I think they're so interesting, and we don't know enough about them and don't really appreciate them as a species. So on the Sunday, after I went to Kew Gardens, we went to Greenwich Park, which is where the Greenwich Park Observatory is. And it, again, was just such a cool experience because, you know, you climb this hill and there's the observatory on top, and we didn't actually go in because it was really busy, but you can just see so much of London from that hill. So the third new place I visited in London recently was Brick Lane, and I don't understand how I hadn't been there yet, because I've been to Spitalfields Market, which is nearby, like 10 times, and it's literally a 5-minute walk away from Brick Lane. Somehow I just never ended up getting over there, but I was really happy to, because I've studied it and I've written papers on it, but you know, being there is something totally different, and it is every bit as, you know, trendy and artistic and hip as everyone says it is. So it was really cool getting to finally see it for myself and just kind of wander around and look at all the, you know, murals and graffiti, and there are like pop-up restaurants and stuff in boxcars, and it's just a really cool area. So one really cool thing that I did last weekend is attend the Chap Olympiad, which is this essentially it's a private picnic for eccentrics who like to dress in vintage, and everyone gets together in, you know, a park that's been closed off to the public and eat and drink alcohol and be merry, and in the meantime the Chap Olympics are going on a stage in the middle of the park, in which members who are participating will play games like umbrella jousting, where you try and knock the other person off a bicycle with an umbrella. And then there's not playing tennis, where you can be disqualified if you actually try. You can also be disqualified for not being drunk enough. And yeah, so it's just this kind of absurd, farcical get-together of people kind of making fun of the idea of the chap and, you know, the colonial gentleman and all of that, and I think it was so much fun, and people were so much nicer than I expected. I thought they'd be kind of stiff, but everyone was really chummy, and like there was a lot of camaraderie, and we made some really cool friends who hopefully I'll get to see again soon. and it was such a cool time. So I also recently went back to the V&A, or the Victoria and Albert Museum, which is one of my favourite places in London, and I was there for research purposes for my dissertation. Some of you might remember in my last video I talked about what I'm doing, which is looking at women's fashion from the 17th to the 19th centuries. And they have a really good collection there at the V&A, so I got to look at those and just kind of look around as well, because they have so much cool stuff there. I always love just kind of browsing and obviously spending like an hour and a half in the gift shop, because it's just so nice. It's so pretty and so expensive. But yeah, I always love the V&A, so if you haven't been there and you have the chance, go to the V&A. I hope you've all enjoyed this video. There should be more content coming relatively soon. Remember to check out my blog. The link is in the description down below. And stay classy.